All right, we got a finely curated list of games today. I spent a real long time looking through my FB Neo collection. I'm starting off with probably my best discovery I've made. All of these games are true gems that I've picked out today. But this one, it's just something special. 1988, Japanese only, but it has blood. Look at that shit. Some fucking little dwarves just gave birth out of a giant lummox. This is just the kind of shit that, you know, if I'm like an archaeologist like Indiana Jones, and this Batocera is the world, I've really discovered some shit today. I'm calling, look at that, Harikari, 1988. This is before Mortal Kombat. This is awesome. Have you ever heard of it? I've never heard of it. It's called Kabuki something. Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD. I don't know. Should have had the title come across the screen at the beginning in my new format. Please excuse my not playing yet. My cat is very thirsty all the time. Thankfully, she got her new water in the mail today, thanks to my mom. Told my mom not to give me any more money, but she paid for my cat water, which is $25 for 2 gallons. And I'll go through that in a week. So I guess I go through about $100 worth of cat water a month. That's my life. All right, let's just get this going. Got the big update today about Mr. James UFO tube. And my Occam's razor, the most simple answer is usually the correct one, was correct. The tube was just a welded metal tube that he dremeled. He admitted it. It was all fake. The whole thing was fake. And a lot of people are real mad. There's some fucking crazy guy that's been driving around for 24 hours trying to find James. Luckily, they haven't found him. James is in hiding. He's hiding at a friend's house, but he keeps going live. And he's unapologetic, which he should be. It's a simple prank. I've decided there's 2 different types of people in this world. People that get the joke about James and aren't mad, and people that are mad. I think it's brilliant. I think what he pulled off, I mean, he did it with no money. I think he had a friend helping him, so he didn't do it completely on his own. But he did it with no money, no sponsorship, no direction. It was a solo art project he did on his own. He did his own acting, his own directing, his own special effects. He pulled off something huge. He had at least 20,000 people thinking that he'd been killed by a UFO. He really pulled it off. And I think he would have, I thought the only mistake that he did was to go live again and still try to pretend that it was still going on, that he had like a migraine headache and stuff like that. But I guess apparently, like, people were going to his parents' house and calling his local police. The police came to his house. Maybe even the feds came to his house. Somebody some authoritarian person in his life, whether it was his parents or the police or the feds or something, confiscated the tube. He no longer has the tube in his possession. He's in deep shit for this. Not in the sense of like all the threats people have been saying he's going to jail and stuff like that. It's just causing a lot of problems in his life. Yes, that's why I wanted to play this game, because I flipped through all these games. I looked through every single game on FB Neo, and it said that this game, at the end of every level, you fight a boss and do a fatality, and you do. Where has this game been on my life? Look at these like skeletons and plaid. It looks like skeletons in Elvis 67 comeback special, 69 comeback special, or whatever the hell it is. Leather adorned skeletons. They have like brown skulls, so they're like rotted, decayed flesh skeletons. This game, good lord. When you think you've seen it all, you ain't seen nothing yet. Good God. Life is awesome. My life is awesome. Don't let anybody tell you differently. But yeah, James is awesome. And you know what? People found everything about him. They're calling him a psychopath and a sociopath. He's not a psychopath and a sociopath. He's just a creative spirit. But people found everything about him. His real YouTube was like Jimmy Jams or something like that. And just from a first impression of the real Jimmy, I mean, he very well could have used his creative energy to become a mass shooter, because he's very into guns. It's just his real YouTube, which I saw him deleting all the videos in real time because they had his face on it. But he's just really into all kinds of different guns. His latest video is him talking about how a German World War II Luger is not the best kind of gun. And he's just some fucking psychopath that's really into guns. So he could have been like a Randy Stair type character, or the guy that shot up the church in North Carolina or something. Like, he very well could have taken that path in life. But no, instead of taking a destructive path in life, he did something creative and brilliant. And if people can't see that for what it is, they don't get the joke. They don't have a sense of humor. Have no sense of irony or satire or anything like that. They don't get it. And if you don't get some of the stuff that I say on my channel, you don't understand my form of humor. I call my humor grotesque satire. Another example of humor that's grotesque satire is the band Fear. They're good grotesque satire. But satire is the most difficult form of humor to understand. But we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about James. Damn it! I really wanted to fatality that guy. I'm gonna do one more run through to try to get to a second fatality, and we're gonna move on to the next game, because there's a lot of good games to play right now. James pulled it off, man. And I enjoyed every second of it. It was great to believe for a second, you know? It was great to to think an alien killed a guy. I mean, all these people who are so upset, they're upset that an alien didn't kill a guy. They're upset that someone's still alive. Shows what kind of people they are. But I've always known this, but I try to stay away from it. I'm addicted to the fear I get from hearing conspiracy theories about aliens and the Illuminati and shit like that. I'm just addicted to it. Ever since I got into it, I'm addicted to that fear it gives me. James said he gave everybody some dopamine. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's my dopamine addiction. I don't know what chemical it releases in the brain. The drummer of my band, Pleasure Blade, Jared, he's a skeptic. He calls himself a skeptic. I don't know if he calls himself a skeptic, but he's definitely a skeptic. That's his religion, skepticism. And he hated that I listened to Alex Jones and stuff. I want to play the Alex Jones video game, by the way. I'm gonna play that as soon as I have the disposable income to buy it on Steam, because it looks just like Metal Slug. I saw that it's on Tyler's Steam list. So, Tyler, let me know if I should get the Alex Jones. Should get the Alex Jones Metal Slug game. But yeah, we'll go on to what my friend Jared said about conspiracy theories in this next game, and it stuck with me. He made a very good point. It's like psychology. It opened my eyes to some shit that made me realize some things. All right, I'm on the best samurai list. It's time for the next game.
Okay, let's go.
All right, I had to play this game because it didn't work worth a damn on my Mame arcade or my last Batocera. But this Ken Hank Batocera is so professional, so well curated, and so well programmed. Next level. I recommend picking one up off the Ken Hank website or the official Ken Hank AliExpress site. Make sure it's the official Ken Hank AliExpress, because there's a lot of fake ones on there. But there is I think it's called Superseller or something like that. There's an official Ken Hank Batocera website. But this game, I thought it might be impossible to play on a controller, because it's a steering wheel with a accelerator pedal, driving pedal, and a gun at the same time. You have to control all that shit at the same time. You control the gas with the left trigger. Or wait, you control the gas with the right trigger, the gun with the left shoulder or the right shoulder button. You steer with the left joystick, and you aim your gun with the right joystick. So somehow they made it work. It works. And I loved this game when I was a kid. I loved playing it at Chuck E. Cheese. It was a great, cool, exciting new game at Chuck E. Cheese. And now I'm playing it at home. So Little Richard in the past. My dad told me every time I have a birthday, and that I said, what happens to me when I was younger? What happened? I'm turning 7. What's going to happen to me? The version of me that turns 6. And he said, he'll be in your heart. So I always imagine like the younger versions of me are now living inside of my heart, wandering around in my heart. So speaking to my young self in my heart, look what we're doing right now. We're playing Lucky and Wild here in the comfort of our own home, and it's working. Okay, I'm getting into what I was talking about, conspiracy theories that my friend Jared told me, the skeptic. I mean, I'm not a skeptic. I think skepticism is just as much of a religion as any other religion. It's I'm a free thinker. I don't want to disprove anything, and I don't want to prove anything. I want to change my opinion every day. But he said that there's something inside your brain that's like goes back to when we were cavemen, telling stories around the fire. There's something in our brain that when we find out information that we think other people don't know, that only we know, or a certain group only knows, or we come across this hidden information. It releases something in our brain, a feel-good chemical in our brain. So all the people who were watching James's fake UFO death, all were getting all kinds of rush of chemicals in their brain, making them feel good because they thought they had finally seen an alien kill someone. They don't care about James. They care about the feeling they got from watching James being killed by an alien and thinking that they know that there's aliens are real. So, well done, James. Well done. I mean, don't be mad at James because you aren't getting your feelings anymore. Some people are still holding on to it. They think that the James that's live streaming telling everyone, sorry, he said, sorry, I'm quoting him, sorry, you're all retarded. And believe me, kids nowadays really love using the R word. Us millennials, we try to get rid of that word, but the Gen Z has rebelled against that. And they really brought that word back into fashion. Yeah, I mean, we pay money to go to scary movies, and he made the best found footage film since the Blair Witch Project on not even a shoestring budget, on no budget, just an iPhone and a metal tube. Just an iPhone, a metal tube, possibly a popcorn machine that he put on a tape player, LED work light, some rotisserie chicken. He just did it with what we have. What everyone has. And you call that punk rock.
Well, that's it. Well,
James is very punk rock. Even though I don't know what kind of music he would probably listen to. Oh yeah, I remember this. When I was at Chuck E. Cheese and I was like, titties at Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, Mortal Kombat has been bought by Comcast Universal. But Comcast Universal let the Saudi Arabian government in charge of their game division. So the Saudi Arabian government owns Mortal Kombat now. And the Saudi Arabian government recently bought Neo Geo. and they put out the first Fatal Fury in like 20-something years. And all the female characters have big titties. So hopefully Mortal Kombat now, the female characters will have big titties again. Sorry if that sounds sexist, I'm just being sex positive. If you're concerned about the unrealistic depiction of women in video games, how do you think men are depicted in video games? Liu Kang isn't morbidly obese. They all have bodies like the David statue. I don't know if they have the small penis like the David statue, but they're sculpted men's bodies in a Nietzschean form of perfection. I almost said Nietzschean porn of perfection. So, if they're not going to have a realistic depiction of men's bodies, why do they need to have a realistic depiction of women's bodies as well? And there are women with big titties, voluptuous out there. And why are they any less capable of chopping someone's head off than a woman with A cups, you know? It's fantasy. And alright, the only game I can think of in the recent past, besides this new Fatal Fury, is Stellar Blade. It had the Big Booty Ho as the main character, and it was very liberating. So, you sexist, journalist killing Saudi Arabians, hopefully you're going to bring Mortal Kombat back to greatness. I told you I'm only bringing out bangers today. It's been a long time finding all these fucking games. And I made a list. I have a list of games I want to play in the future. But I went through the list again, because it's a very long list. And I even went through the list again, and I put a little star next to the game that I really wanted to play. The games I really, really had to play today. And then that was like 9 games, so I had to go back and make games with 2 stars that absolutely had to be played today. And I was able to narrow that down to 5 or 6. So these are the cream of the crop of what I've found in the FB Neo. And I'm titling this video FB Neo is better than Mame. Parentheses. James Tube update. Or maybe James Tube final update. Because I've been talking about all this James Tube, and I needed to close the chapter.
You are gonna die.
The James Tube is a hoax. And I always knew it was hoax, but like I said, I'm just addicted to that feeling of being scared. And that's why I watch horror movies. And don't you love that? It has the like sexy women, and they explode into big fat women, and then these aliens explode into blood. This is like I don't know what type of art form the movie Street Trash is called, but like the homeless people, when they drink the bad alcohol, their bodies explode into different paint colors and stuff like that. This is that type of art. But yeah, I watch horror movies to get scared. And there's nothing more scary than when you think you're watching a real life horror movie. And I'm not just talking about like the fact that James died and it sounded horrific. I didn't like that part. That was the disturbing part. It was just thinking that aliens were real and this guy really found a UFO and he came to a tragic end. The death part was just the part that kept me up all night. I didn't want to watch that over and over again. I mean, he had to do that to really send it to the next level and make people really go nuts. And they have really gone nuts, harassing the guy's parents. That's what it means to be an artist nowadays. And if you're YouTubers or random plebeian, you don't exactly have the security force of Taylor Swift. To protect you. And even Taylor Swift is not immune to people finding her, because I found her once. Wasn't looking for her. Told this story before. I went to the Griffith Park Observatory when I went to Hollywood. When I was 30. As a suggestion of my god sister, Athena Wickham, big Hollywood executive. Big Hollywood big shot. Look it up if you don't believe me. Big Hollywood executive, Athena Wickham. Athena Wickham. That's what J.J. Abrams calls her. She used to work for J.J. Now she works for the Batman guy's brother. She said, go to the Griffith Park Observatory. I went, and they had a planetarium. And I loved it, because it gave me ASMR feelings of the soothing voice of the planetarium narrator, being in the dark room and looking up at the stars. I only had a few days left in Hollywood, and I didn't have anything to do the next night, so I said I'm going to go again the next night. And they had a little snack bar. I got a PB&J Uncrustable when I went the first night. So I'm going to PB&J Uncrustable the second night. I really enjoyed that PB&J Uncrustable. I noticed that the path to go get the PB&J Uncrustable is blocked off, just like you see it like an amusement park ride or movie theater or something, just like one of those just like tubes that are connected with a little metal hook connected to poles. Like, it wasn't like a security fence or something. So I jumped over that. I won't let me continue. Alright, sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger there. The game shut off. But anyways, I was at the Griffith Park Observatory for the second night in a row. Look at this crazy ass game. And 1986 Namco. I jumped over the little thing blocking the way to the snack bar. Went to go get the Uncrustable, walked through this room, which was like a little... It had like little pictures of lightning on the walls and shit like that. But there was also an observatory, so they had a big whatever you call those things that look into the sky, periscope or some shit. Echo, what are the things you look up to look at the stars?
To look at the stars, you don't need much. Your eyes are the best tool. Just find a dark spot away from city lights. Want to know about some cool things you can spot?
Echo, what's the magnifying glass that looks up at the stars? See, I have frontal temporal dementia. My mom says it's benzos.
The magnifying glass for looking at stars is called a telescope.
Telescope.
It's like a super-powered eye that can see really far into space.
Taylor Swift was waiting to go look at the big telescope. And I saw her standing there. She says she's 5'10". I'm 5'9". She's definitely more than an inch taller than me. She looks like a model, like the way her body is built. People who say looks don't matter, they do. She's a big, tall model lady. There's still an awkwardness to her. She doesn't have very good posture. But I just said, you know, walk real slow, pretend like she's any other person, because she is just any other person. And just walk by real slow, don't scare her, and just be on your way. So that's what I did. And when I walked by, I peered through my eye, I looked at her, and she was like chugging. I don't know if it was coffee or if it was alcohol. I assume it was coffee because I Googled where she was going, and she was about to catch a red eye to Australia. And her hand was shaking when she was drinking that coffee. So I was like, I'm scaring her. She probably thinks I'm some kind of crazy stalker. I personally, I remember thinking in my head, why can't this be Miley Cyrus? I love the Miley Cyrus Bangers album. I don't know this Taylor Swift too much. But then when I walked by, either her or her friend goes, that guy was really hot. And before I had a chance to turn around, some guy walks through the door who was probably like her bodyguard. So I just went and got my fucking PB&J and went and saw my goddamn planetarium presentation. And when I went back to my hotel, the police followed me, and there was like 2 cop cars waiting in front of me, right in front of my hotel, staring at me with their arms crossed, with these guys, these Russian guys that worked at this little corner store called Davy Jones's Liquor. And the next day, the guy from Davy Jones's Liquor was talking shit about me. He was like, "Oh, look who it is. The guy who has to hide from the paparazzi. You piece of shit." So I think Taylor might have had the popo follow me. But I don't know. That could be my own paranoia. That's Hollywood. And if she was still having them follow me, she would have saw that I went to J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Studios the very next morning for an appointment with Hollywood executive, my god sister, my dad's goddaughter, Athena Wickham. So I'm a VIP as well. So that's why I kept walking by. I don't get starstruck. I mean, to be honest, I've thought through in my head, like, oh, I could have had a grand love story with Taylor Swift. But maybe her friend was the one that said I was hot, and maybe my mom. I tell my mom about it. I don't think she doesn't believe it anyway. She believes nothing about this story anyway. I think the only person that actually believes me is my friend Summer, and she had a stroke. So God bless her heart. But it's true. I'm not lying. I don't lie. But my mom thinks that they were just fucking with me if it was real. All right, Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition. I watched a video about this on YouTube years ago, and I always wanted to play it. And lo and behold, it was on my Batosetta. And the legend goes, it was found by Capcom executives in some like New York bodega or some shit. And someone had just like hacked the ROM board of Street Fighter 2 and made it do all this crazy shit. And they liked it, and the people liked it. The people playing it liked it. So they so that's what gave birth to like Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 Super Street Fighter 2. Just I mean, I guess it's more of the Street Fighter 2 Turbo because this moves at the speed of Street Fighter 2 Turbo, but it does a lot more crazy shit than move at a fast speed. See, Ken just turned into Vega. You never know what the fuck is going to happen in this game. It's completely off the wall. Now he's M. Bison. I can throw my Shaurukens while in the air. And they like hone after him. This is fun. I'd love to get down with this with some of my buddies. This is a cool game. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition. I love it. God, I love my life. I mean, it's not like I'm not working hard, though. I mean, work hard, play hard. I spent hours curating this list of games, and now I finally get to play them and be happy. But I've been at this all day, and I'm gonna be at it all night too, because then I have to edit it, put titles on the video, encode and finalize output on the video, which takes 2 hours. I don't even know how long the editing and title screens take. That takes at least an hour, and then it takes at least an hour to upload it on YouTube, and then I have to watch through it to make sure there's no mistakes, and so I can timestamp for the chapters. So it's a whole day process just to play little video games, but this is what I do. I don't just play video games because that would make me a loser. And to quote Milo from The Descendants, I'm not a loser. I love that song, even though the lyrics are a bit offensive in today's sensibilities, but at that time, that's how everyone spoke. So, and Milo didn't even write that song. It was their original guitar player who is now dead. The only two remaining members of the Descendants are the drummer and Milo. But the bass player and guitar player that are with them now. I've been with them for a very long time, and I think they were in all the iterations of All as well, but All as well. But yeah, Bill Stevenson and Milo something. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I want to say Milo Yiannopoulos. Whatever happened to that guy? I think he said something about young boys and was canceled. He was the token gay guy on Breitbart, but once he started talking about young boys, he was canceled by the people who say they're against canceling. All right, we're gonna do Chun-Li and then be like, oh, fuck this. I got at least one more game to play, I think. This is hard, but I'm sure it's a lot of fun to play against a friend. But they made the computer pretty hard to play against. Look at Vega climbing a ship. He's only supposed to climb a cage. Now we got fucking M. Bison. I don't know if everybody knows this. I first realized this when I got a Japanese version of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on my 3DO. M. Bison is Vega. Vega is Bullrog, and Bullrog is M. Bison. Why is Bullrog called M. Bison? Because Bullrog is Mike Tyson. Mike Bison, M. Bison, Mike Bison. Vega, Bullrog, is from Spain. That's like a Spanish name. And then M. Bison, the final boss, he's Vega. Doesn't he look like a Vega? Doesn't that look like a Vega? It says M. Bison. That's M. Bison. That's Bullrog. And that's Vega. They just had to change it around so Mike Tyson does not sue because of Mike Bison. Alright, I chose this game for no other reason except for it has dead children in the game. And that's a rarity in video games. Can't kill the children like you can in Technocop. But this game has dead children slaughtered on the ground from what I assume was like a Viking or barbarian raid on a medieval city. 322 AD. I don't know if that's the Dark Ages. Is it the Dark Ages or the Dark Ages before the Middle Ages? The barbarians had definitely stormed the gates of Rome by then. Started building Gothic architecture. Yeah, if the barbarians are so barbaric, how do they make such good fucking architecture? Look at Gothic architecture. It's the best architecture I've ever seen in my life. Wizard Fire. Data East. Data East is a little bit sleazy, you know. It's a little bit sleazy. I always like to be the dwarf. That's my. I've only played Dungeons and Dragons twice in my life, but my character's a fighter dwarf named Bairn. Bern. See, look at that. There's a guy impaled on the wall.
Jade, where have you been?
Data East, they made Tattoo Assassins, and that game's fucking, that actually has nudalities. Data East, ain't no bitches when it comes to. See, there's a dead baby next to its mother on the ground. This had, I mean, this is Gauntlet basically, but there's a burned corpse of a dead baby on the ground. I could not play this game. I'm trying to make this a very special stream because I spent a whole lot of time finding all these games. And I have a list of at least like 20, 25 interesting games I found today. And I even added more favorites to my FB Neo that I didn't put on the list. So I have switched to a knight. Oh, he has a mace. That's pretty cool. I have a whole lot of FB Neo games to go through, and I'm going to title this video, as I said, look at that dead baby. That's fucking crazy. Whose idea was that? No restraint, no tact, no decency, no taste. Distasteful, that's what I would call it. That's very, very distasteful to have a dead baby corpse in a video game. That's just fucking crazy to me. That's the kind of stuff I look for in life. Just artistically, okay? I'm an unbridled artist. I'm not a sicko, you know. I don't want to see a real dead baby. If I saw a real dead baby, I'd throw up and cry. I'm just talking about in video games. I like artistic portrayals of things that people that don't appreciate art try to censor. I love banned books. I love things challenging the status quo. I love extreme art. I love grotesque satire. Just love art, whether tasteful or not. And this is art. And what James did was art. Art is not life, it is the interpretation of life. That's what I think either Plato or Socrates says. Might sound like a dope on a bunch of pills. But I have 150 IQ, okay? So, don't write me off as some kind of goofball or some fucking goofball. Fucking idiot. And you say, oh, he doesn't have a job. Why aren't you a rocket scientist? What's smarter? Having a prestigious job or not having to have a job? Who's a smarter person? Someone that goes to work and slaves all day, even if it's something that contributes to society or something they like? Or someone who gets to do whatever the fuck they want to do all day? Well, I guess we imprison, we make our own self-imposed prisons no matter what. I mean, I definitely don't get to do what I want all day. I take care of super senior cats with chronic illnesses, and I'm trapped in my house. My video games are my only refuge. But still, I don't have a boss. I don't pay taxes. Who's the smart one, huh? Who's the smart one? No, I just got lucky. I I fell into a special distinction of being diagnosed as disabled at age 17 because of psychosis. I've been legally disabled by the government, so I was still in high school, living a privileged life in the suburbs. White privilege. So I was 17, disabled, labeled for life as a crazy person. So I was considered disabled before I was 18. My dad died when I was 19. And if you're disabled before you're 18 and your dad dies before you're 21, you were considered the disabled child of a deceased parent. And I didn't even consider myself disabled until, I had psychosis, delusions and shit like that. Going all the way back to the summer before first grade, I thought Bloody Mary was talking to me in my head and telling me things to do and shit like that. Bad night terrors and visual hallucinations and shit like that. But it wasn't until I was 19 that it truly blossomed, and it made me realize, yes, I do need some help. What am I going to do? And just so happened to be dating a girl that told me that she was the devil. She had bipolar too. And her mom was a psychological social worker. And she's used to helping mentally ill people get benefits that they need. And she says, he seems like he might need to be on Social Security. So I filled out the paperwork. Went and spoke to someone, a mental health professional. Told her my life story, told her everything that's going on with me. Got put on antipsychotics after a huge psychotic break. And the mental health professional concluded that yes, he needs Social Security. And I would have normally not gotten it, because in order to get Social Security, you have had to have worked a certain amount of hours in your life. I was 20 years old. The only hours of life I had worked was I delivered pizza and washed dishes at a pizza place for about a week, and then I flipped my car into a ditch when I was 16. So I hadn't put a lot of work hours in. But luckily, the lady on the phone told my mom about something we didn't know about, this whole disabled child of its deceased parent thing. So it was just a timing thing. Don't hate me for winning the lottery. Don't think I'm faking it, because let me count how many times I've been to a mental institution. First went when I was 13 for cutting myself for not, because I couldn't go to a Lagwagon show. No, Less Than Jake, Ska Against Racism show. They'd already told me I couldn't go to Lagwagon. That was the first time. Then they tried to put me in one when I was 20 for screaming at the top of my lungs, having a fit basically down in the Florida Keys. They called the police and shit. I ran down the street in my underwear. No, they pretended like they were taking me to give my girlfriend a tampon at work, but they were really taking me to the mental institution. So I jumped out of the car, my penis flopped out of my boxer shorts, and I started trying to fight my stepdad and ran down the street with my penis hanging out. And then, since I didn't go, my psychologist refused to see me because he said he would not participate in this tragedy. Dr. Henry M. Storper. He had a his psychology office was filled to the brim with Fabergé eggs, and every time I went in there, I just wanted to break every goddamn one of them Fabergé eggs. I'm surprised no crazy person did that. I think that's a pretty dumb decision to have a mental health office full of Fabergé eggs. I don't, how he managed to not have every single one of those Fabergé eggs broken, I don't know. But I actually spent some time in a mental institution about a year later. Checked myself in because I couldn't stop thinking about Satan. Then a few years go by. I go again because I tell my mom I'm possessed by the goat demon, the Baphomet, and I'm making all these crazy YouTube videos shooting crossbows through the wall of my house. And she's just scared for me, and she knew I had a warrant for my arrest, so she just had me committed. Then a few years after that, I went to 3 different mental institutions in a row within weeks of each other. And I finally got put on the right medication. So I'm definitely not faking it, so don't try to turn me in. I just poured my heart and soul out to you people. Hope you believe me. I'm not faking it. But I really do have a high IQ, and I really thought I was going to be somebody in life. But that's what mental illness does. It even ruined my music career. I wouldn't go to shows because I thought I was going to hell. I don't even have my music on Apple Music and Spotify when everyone else on my record label does. I just haven't asked because I'm afraid of Satan being connected to Spotify and Apple Music. I self-sabotage everything I do. I guess in a way I'm self-sabotaging my YouTube channel because it used to have fun things like food reviews and going to the library and videos of concerts and me playing music and funny little skits and things like that. But now all I do is just play video games all day long and jibber jabber. But some people like it, so. But I just feel no pressure doing this. I get satisfaction, I get escape, I get something to do with my day. But it doesn't overwhelm me with a sense of pressure. So this is what I'm going to stick with. Turn on LED lights.
Okay.
All right, this final game, I had to. This is kind of like Lucky and Wild. On all my other systems of emulation, I've never been able to manage to find a good control scheme for this game because the arcade is such a unique control setup. It has like a dial, joystick, buttons. It's very complex. Um, Control scheme for this game, so it's hard for it to see. I mean, it's hard enough. This game's hard enough on its own, but trying to figure out the controls um, are pretty damn difficult for a game like this. But once again, Ken Hank Batosera comes through. This is the best controls I've seen for Tron. And Tron holds a very special place in my heart. My uncle's haircutting studio still works there, the Main Event in Natchez, Mississippi. He used to have a little arcade in there, little dark room in the back. And Tron was perfect for it too, because Tron, I turned on my special backlights. I should have turned on my black lights in my house to really get the Tron mood lighting, because the Tron arcade cabinet has great lighting. It's very immersive. You feel like you're in Tron. But yeah, I used to play the fuck out of this game. I'm doing real bad right now, but I used to play the fuck out of this game while I was waiting to get a haircut from my uncle. So I have a real special place in my heart for this game. The Main Event, great people working at the Main Event. My uncle worked for years there with my aunt Karen, God rest her soul. She recently passed away from leukemia. But she worked there with him, so they had a perfect situation where they got to spend all day with each other. And the best boss you could possibly imagine, Jerry. See, there you can either get like a salary if you work at a hairdressing studio, or it's like you're an independent contractor and you just pay rent. Like your booth where you cut your hair, you're paying rent for your booth and you get all the money. You just pay the owner the rent for the booth, and that's what Jerry does. He's a good, honest, fair owner. I'm gonna keep playing this until I beat this part because this is bullshit. Um, Real good guy. Comes from a dark past. Dixieland Mafia. His dad owned a lot of juke joints and nightclubs in downtown Natchez. But Jerry found Jesus, and he opened up the Main Event. There's a very godly feeling when you walk into the Main Event. God's people. Me and Jerry and my uncle, we've talked about Jesus and stuff. My uncle used to work in a whorehouse. and he used to sell all this fake shit too. Fake Nike, fake Oakleys, fake Rolexes, even like Rolexes that like, you know how, I don't know, you gotta like be really rich to know this, but like Rolexes, like they don't tick. They move, the dial moves around in a circle. It doesn't tick. And he even had fake Rolexes that moved around in a circle. Like he had some great fake shit, you know. So people like us Nixes, we gotta find Jesus. Because we come from some bad blood. We're a strange breed of dog. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much. But for many years now, no one has been able to bring out my dark side again and truly test my spirit. And turn me into what I used to be. But I'll tell you who's testing my spirit right now. I was talking about CBS yesterday. Speaking of Mississippi, I'm gonna go on to another part of Tron and try to like have a palate cleanse and go back to that part. I finally finished my my big okay, this is the easiest part. My big goal. Well, I guess the goal is to play Mortal Kombat Online with Scott Jackaman, but I bought a whole lot of controllers to play Mortal Kombat with Scott Jackaman because I had to get one for myself. And then I realized I want to play with him, so I'm going to bribe him into playing with me by getting him a Genesis controller. And then I found on Play Asia that they had a blue version of that Genesis controller on sale, like for real retail price, when they're like way overpriced on eBay. So I bought a black one for myself on eBay. And I bought two blue ones for Scott Jackaman and his son on Play Asia at the normal price. But Scott inadvertently told me he was disappointed by them being blue, so I got him a black one because I was going to buy myself another blue one anyway. So he got a black one and a blue one. I got a black one and a blue one. I also bought a Super Nintendo one. A lot of preparation. And it took a month for the Play Asia ones to come in. The one for his son. They finally came in. Then I thought to myself, well, I better get a gift for the other kids too. So I got the other kids a present. I made a package. And the guy at the counter of the Bloomington post office asked me. He didn't even ask me if I wanted priority or not. He just rang it up as ground shipping. USPS ground advantage without even asking me. I guess he looked at me and saw that I hadn't showered in at least 2 weeks, and he's probably like, "This is a USPS Ground Advantage customer, not a Priority Mail customer." But I gladly would have paid Priority Mail, especially if I knew. I mean, I did know that this was going to happen because it happened 3 other times. The Orlando, Florida regional shipping facility for the USPS is a fucking joke. And I sent this girl that I liked from high school that we're talking again for a brief amount of time. I sent her a bunch of presents because I overgift. Gifts are my love language. And every fucking time some stupid shit happened with that regional facility, even her birthday presents were a day late, even though I mailed them like 2 weeks early. So I knew that there was going to be a problem with Scott Jackaman's package. But he was out of town when I mailed it, so I figured, well, we'll just give him a little extra time. That'll be good because we know that he will be in town. He just got back into town today, so he'll be in town when his package finally comes, so he can open it with his kids. So I went ahead and went with a Ground Advantage. Lo and behold, got stuck for a couple days in the Orlando shipping facility. I thought that's all was going to happen. It was just going to be stuck there for a couple days like it always is. But no. At 9:31 yesterday morning, I get an update through my text because I signed up for updates to the text. Your package has arrived at a processing facility in Jackson, Mississippi. And it's still in that fucking processing facility in Jackson, Mississippi right now. It was literally an hour or so away from Scott Jackaman's house on the Space Coast of Florida in Orlando. He commutes to Orlando for his job to show you how close he was to this package. And they mailed it to fucking Jackson, Mississippi. Those motherfuckers. And it's still in fucking Jackson, Mississippi. It hasn't updated in 30 fucking hours. So my spirit's being tested. But I gotta remain calm. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is cursed. The official 8-button Retrobit Sega Genesis Bluetooth controller was bought for the purpose of playing Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. So the curse carried on to that controller. Scott Jackman thinks it's a quantum event. Like, you know how quantum physics say there's a million different dimensions that we're all living in at the same time, and he thinks it was mailed there because it was mailed to a different version of me, a different dimension of me that stayed in Mississippi instead of moving to Florida. Which is possible. I'm not totally writing off that. God damn it! I thought I was gonna make it. I really thought I was gonna make it, and I'm gonna keep fucking playing this until I do make it. Feel free to turn this off. Feel free to unsubscribe. Feel free to give me money. No, you can't give me money. I'm just saying the shit that that UFO James was saying on his live stream today. People just kept giving him money, and he was like, "Don't give me money. I'm just gonna go bet it all on one thing of blackjack." James was not in it for the money. He was in it just because he's a badass motherfucker. And I think he just wanted to like show people how stupid they are for believing in UFOs. to show how much of a grift the UFO community is. But I think he just did it for shits and giggles. For the exact same reason I'm doing for what I'm doing right now. I'm not doing this for money. I'll never get monetized. I got a little I beat that part. When I'm not trying to beat it, I actually beat it. Not this part though. What time is it? Echo, what time is it?
The time is 5:52 p.m.
Okay, I don't have to give my cat medicine for another hour. Yeah, I got this thing from YouTube saying your videos will now soon be auto dubbed. So, like, people from all over the world are going to be able to watch my videos and have it auto dubbed so they can know what I'm saying. And I was like, wow, I've been chosen by YouTube. I'm going to be auto dubbed. I'm special. And then I've been saying I get these videos when I upload my videos on my channel, not my YouTube premium channel that I use to actually watch videos. But when I'm uploading videos on this channel, I just get suggested videos, and they're all about like how to grow your YouTube channel and shit like that. And this lady was saying that she stopped getting views. She had to turn off this one thing because she was losing all her views because this one thing was turned on, and you better turn it off too if you don't want to lose all your views. Guess what it is? The auto dubbing. But I'm not turning off my auto dubbing because I don't give a fuck. I want people to hear this in different languages. So, and how can I lose views if I don't have any views anyway? So I'm keeping the auto dubbing. I'm not Mr. Beast trying to hack the algorithm to get as many views as I can. I'm just doing this for my own entertainment, and that's the same reason James did the whole UFO thing. He's probably bored as fuck, sick of shooting guns for a while, and decided to he was just hit with inspiration, and he let that spirit of inspiration take over, and it's just that's the beauty of art and inspiration. It's like going on a ride. It takes you where you need to go. You just need to get along for the ride because it will take you where you need to go. You don't even have to think about it if it's pure, true inspiration. And that's what happened to James. So I can't fucking play this anymore. I don't want to have a bad association with this game. I have such a good association with this game and the main event. I don't know why I'm doing so bad. I'm tired as fuck. I need to know when to stop. And James needed to know when to stop. But he got doxxed. And someone did knock on my door this morning, and I don't know who the fuck it was. But I didn't answer it, and I'll never answer it. James, if you're watching this, don't answer your door. Don't answer your phone. Don't answer anything. You don't have to. Have a great day. Bye-bye.